going on, everyone? Pete out here. Hey, yeah, I'm going to do some late night 1.8T stuff. As I'm doing some stuff, we guys can chat. Let's talk. Let's do, some conversation. As always, we love doing car stuff. I love working on cars. I love building motors. It is fun. You guys don't understand how much fun it is for me to just sit there to myself and wrenching. It is just a way to, my brain goes away from the real world and just have fun. It's just a way to relax and get your mind off of everything and putting your energy into an inanimate object, number one. And then at the end, when you're done, bring it to life. What's going on, Mark IV Wolf? And that's what I'm going to do with this 1.8T that we got back there. We're pretty much at the tail end of building it. So I'm going to get my tripod over here and bring you guys over for obviously some conversation, some wrenching, and questions. If you guys have questions, I got the answers. If not, I will do my best to research them and get them for you. Straight and to the point, That's what we do here at Pinchal's Garage is, help out everybody. So thanks for tuning in. I'm actually going to grab that webcam right now, so I'll be floating around. So give me just a second here. Got to get you guys on the stand. What's going on, everyone? It's such a good feeling to be almost done with this engine and to put the VR6 in here next. Right now, the VR6 is just chilling outside. All the internals and its guts are all inside the my other storage spot over here, aka my hallway garage. So we're just trying to finish up the 1.8 here. So we got a lot of little things we're going to show you guys tonight. Some fun tips and tricks for you guys to not be scared to build your own motor. I kid you guys not. It is the easiest thing out there you can ever do on an engine is to disassemble it and put it all back together. Obviously, there is a right and there is a wrong way. The right way is making sure you follow, obviously, your Bentley manual. Now, if you don't have a Bentley manual, I'm going to give you one. You're like, say what? Yeah. Beach Al's got a Bentley manual for you, and it's free $99. It's a full digital copy of the Mark IV Holy Bible right here. This is everything you need to know about a Mark IV, period. 1.8T, 2.0, 1.9, VR6, 2.8, and the later PD diesel, which is right after the 1.9 ALH. The 1.9 TDI ALH is honestly, to date, the best diesel engine, period. It is legitimately a tank motor. And after we're done with the Corrado and the Jetta, we're going to build a high horsepower 1.9 ALH diesel. And I don't know where we're going to put it in. I actually got a couple cool ideas to actually put it in something. We're going to do a swap. I don't want to put it in what it came from. I want to do a swap into something different. We also want to build a 1.8T twin turbo setup. I want to do something stupid, but that's going to be what we call our China build. I know it's kind of weird, but we're going to do a China build, aka the eBay special. I want to see what you can actually make with eBay German parts, not Honda stuff, because I know a lot of people do that. I'm curious what we can make with eBay stuff on a German car. I do swap on my Jetta. Is the A-way necessary? Okay, so how can I explain this Mark IV Wolf? I personally will never call it an R32. A lot of people call it an R32 engine, which is very inaccurate. The engine, the reason why it's called R32, because you got a car that's all-wheel drive with the 3.2 liter VR6. And that's why it's an R32, because the R makes it all-wheel drive. That's why it's called an R32. If you look at the Golf R or the Bora R They're all-wheel drive cars, and they have the 3.2 liter VR6. What's up? What's up? What's up? So, I wouldn't use an impact gun to replace stuff on a car, especially when it comes down to bushings and supports. You might snap something, so be careful. God knows. So what you're trying to say, you're going to try to put a 3.2 liter VR6 in your Jetta, and yeah, that's dope. I would definitely love it. That engine is phenomenal. That is a very, very powerful engine, and I would definitely recommend it, Mark IV Wolf, if you get the chance to get one dirt cheap. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Pacheco. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it. George Pacheco is actually the guy who bought the wing off of our Mark IV Jetta project car, and I shipped that out. Unfortunately, to me not knowing how much shipping a wing cost, I underquoted him hugely on that wing, and to take a loss, off that car is kind of sucky. So George Pacheco is going to be an awesome dude, and he's going to hook me up with $25 since I made no money off of that wing, because I thought it was going to be a lot cheaper to ship, but I was so wrong. You're welcome, man. I'm glad you got it, and I'm glad it looks good. Super Volks, I know I'm sticking with the 2.0. I'm going to try to tune it and etc. Super Volks, if you're going to stick with the 2.0, aka the 2-point-slow single cam engine, it's not a bad motor. The only thing I highly recommend, just don't sink a ton of money into it. Do a cam, do a tune, an intake, and exhaust, and leave it alone. That's it. That's all you should do to that car. If you do more than that, you're really your Mark IV J. No, I wish it was my career. I wish, but I don't make any money off of YouTube, unfortunately. I make friends and I make family off of YouTube. That's what I get from it. And I'm grateful for it because I get to talk to you guys and enjoy your guys' time. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that I do on YouTube is legitimately out of sheer passion. My merchandise helps keep the channel afloat. And I mean afloat. It does not grow really fast on water. It just stays afloat. It stays right above water, I'm not going to drown. So yeah, that's how my YouTube career is. I work as a full-time Geek Squad advanced repair technician. I've been a repair technician for almost 11 years to date at Geek Squad. I've been an advanced computer repair technician for over 15 years. I know my ins and outs of almost every operating system out there is to know. I know my way about networking. I am actually a network Cisco certified administrator, network administrator. I've gotten really, really into Network Plus, all that advanced stuff that I've done a long, long time ago, especially becoming what we call a network sniffer, or just a network builder. I did all that, and in my younger days, did not care for it. It did not grow on me. Becoming a mechanic, or aka a technician, I think myself as more of a mechanic versus a technician, because I will get down and dirty and disassemble and repair and rebuild and redesign and stuff like that. So yeah, no, YouTube is not my career. I wish it was, but my channel is so niche, it doesn't grow. And when it does grow, but it grows slowly. I've been on YouTube for almost 7 years, believe it or not. And I am only about to hit 11,000 subscribers. To me, that is a massive, massive milestone, but it is not a career, period. Mark IV Wolf, I have a 6-speed swap from a GLI now. Would I be okay, or would that need to be different transmission since it's a 3.2? You need to get a VR6 transmission, Mark IV Wolf, for that to work in your car. If you have a 1.8T transmission, The bell housing themselves are completely different. They will not bolt up to your car and it will not work. Straight and simple, you know. So I'm gonna actually get you guys on the webcam over here. Excuse me right now. Got my Ninja Turtle shirt. Now, I'm sorry about the stuff here, but Super Volks, let me explain about the 2.0 engine. There are guys that do make good power on that engine, believe it or not. However, if you do not have a budget and you have unlimited money, I would go for it. I would turbo it. But please keep in mind that you are going to throw away a lot of money. It's one of those things that most people don't see as a big picture. Dollar for dollar horsepower is one of the things I tell a lot of my friends and a lot of people on YouTube. So I get this question asked a lot, and I mean a lot. What about the 2.0? What about, how much power can you make? Currently, that I know of, the 2.0 engine has very, very little potential, and it's because of the way the head flows, the way the car breathes in general. It's very, very restrictive. It's very... the engine was designed to be economical. It was designed to give you simple performance on a budget. So when you want to make power out of it, you're going to spend a lot of money on making it breathe. In other words, the head. The head is your biggest problem on that engine because, again, it's an 8-valve engine. It doesn't have many valves, meaning it can't breathe. It takes a lot of effort for it to suck air in and push air out. It takes a lot of work, and the engine just doesn't wake up. A 1.8T, this guy right here, has 20 valves built into the head. 20. This is the only engine in the world that has 20 valves, 5 valves per cylinder. And it is phenomenal. This engine is meant to do its job with very, very little effort. And then the more you give it, the more it just gives you back. What's up, Dub Invasion? So your 2.0, again, has 8 valves, 1 intake, 1 exhaust per cylinder. Those little tiny holes suck air in and push air out. Think about how much work you have to do to that head to make air come in more and make more air come out just as fast. You got to literally port that head to high hell. By the time you get the valves done, your head work done, just the head alone, you'd probably spend $3,000 to $4,000 to get that head to make about half the performance of a AWP 20-valve head. And then the block, you probably won't spend that much money on the block because these blocks are almost identical to the 2.0 ABA blocks is what we call them. 2.0 is pretty much run off the similar block, so you can use the same rods and some other stuff that you can mimic it. You can build a solid bottom, but you can't build a solid top that'll give you the performance you want. By the time you're done, you're better off go buy a 1.8T, swap out the harness get a 1.8T harness, swap out the car engine, done. You'll make twice as much power for about a third, almost a half the cost, which is insane, McDubbin, what's up? That's right, Matthew. A 1.8T now, if you shop around, like me, I've been building 1.8Ts for a long time now. And the average cost of just a bare bone, not bare bone, but a long block, which means the bottom and the head, you can get them for about $200 to $300 easily. You know, beat the crap. Johnny Boy, you can't swap that head over. They're a little different in size. Again, the 2.0 block is similar to a 1.8T block. Similar. They're not identical. They're similar, but the head won't bolt. It'll fit. It'll go on, but it won't work. Actually, I asked that question a long time ago as well. Yeah, see, a 2020 ABA, that's an old school, like for Dub Invasion, that's like a 90s, early 90s, 80s engine. The 16 valve engine is what we call them. Those blocks are identical to this block, pretty much. They're very, very similar. Correct, that's correct, Dub Invasion, but I forgot. Again, Dub Invasion got me right. So I might have gotten some of the information incorrect, but yeah, you can swap the heads, but again, power, it'd be kind of hit or miss on how you're going to get it. There you go. See, that's the head you got to use, the AEB, which is what you can do as well. But a lot of that stuff you got to get from Germany or from. Correct. Yeah, external water pump heads with ABA. Correct. Yeah, see, Dub Invasion's got the info. See, that guy knows. Again, you can go that route, but just remember, you're gonna spend a lot more money towards the end, and not as much reward. Where you can just swap out a 1.8, swap out your 2.0, get a 1.8T, and a harness, and you'd be making already 80 to almost 90 more horsepower than your 2.0 at a third of the cost right off the bat. It's just trying to find all the stuff. That's the hard part. I usually just recommend find a wrecked car. As long as your car is manual transmission, go find a wrecked Mark IV with a 1.8T manual as well, and just pull the harness out, pop it in, and get yourself going. Nice and easy, to the point, quick. You know, if you're not into like spending a lot of time, or just afraid that you're going to get into a rabbit hole and if you're not ready for it, it's just don't do it. I mean, this is just trying to help you out and make it safe for you, because it's a pretty big rabbit hole. Mikey, the longitudinal AWW, AWM are pretty much identical to a standard AWD, AWP block. The biggest difference on those engines is the intake manifold and the exhaust manifold. That's honestly the biggest difference between those two blocks. They're almost identical in every way that a standard AWP engine works. They're legitimately identical. You just have a couple little things that might be in a weird spot, but you can make it work. It doesn't really affect anything for you. I gotta go grab a flathead screwdriver. Be right back. Let's see here. Yeah, the manifolds can be swapped. You must guys swapped an engine, trans interior, one Jedi was very 204, 6, I love it. Yeah, that's good. That's right, Dub Invasion. That's also another option. Yeah, the blocks, again, Mikey, are all interchangeable as long as they're 1.8 Ts. If it's a 1.8 T, you can interchange with any block pretty much in general. They're all identical. Yeah, dude. Any 1.8 T is worth rebuilding, period. But if you're going to rebuild it, think about how you're going to rebuild it. You're going to rebuild it for stock performance, or you're going to actually rebuild it for performance. Those are very, very important questions you got to ask yourself when you're going to rebuild an engine. If you're going to rebuild it for stock, then just do a super, super basic, just a hone, basic work on the head, decking it, and just buy all your factory style raw bearings, main bearings, rod bearings, piston rings, and you're done. I mean, it puts you like $2,000 if that. And if you do all the work yourself, you save yourself a ton of money. A good quality rebuild should set you back less than $2,000 for a factory specification rebuild. What becomes super, super expensive is trying sourcing your gaskets. Gaskets, believe it or not, I spent $900 on gaskets and a tensioner. I always recommend, if the engine has more than 150,000 miles, rebuild the whole bottom and top end. It's worth it. Honestly, it is worth it. Just because you're going to get another 300, 200,000 miles out of that block. You're going to get a lifetime out of it. Believe it or not, you will get a lifetime out of it. So we're going to be doing some cleaning right here. Now, this is the front main seal where the crank gear is. You see, that's pretty gross. Code is 811798. So this thing is pretty gross. So we're gonna soak it in what we call chem dip. This stuff is amazing. If you ever use it, this will pretty much clean anything. This is this is called chemical dip. This is a really old style parts cleaner right there. Chem dip by Erman, whatever it is. This will clean anything. And it'll clean it with no problems. All I use is just a fingernail brush right here. It's not toxic. It is toxic. I mean, it's a chemical cleaner, but it doesn't burn your skin. It's not an acid. It's a little bit different. It works a little different. It's a degreaser, but it doesn't. I guess how can I say this? Yeah. We have ventilation. We always do, but it's not like when you put it on your hands, it's not going to burn your hands off like other chemicals. This stuff works really, really well, and I love it. I got to open my garage. I usually crack my garage, and then I have my fans going. Yeah, barbecue cleaner. No, that's like an acid. That's really strong. That can hurt you. You put that stuff on your hands, it burns. Yeah. Give me a second. Yeah, no, this stuff is like $35, and it's reusable. You just make sure you don't spread it around everywhere. Just leave it in one spot, and you let it soak for a little while. And you give it a quick little scrub with the toothbrush. With a toothbrush, I like using toothbrushes. Let's see here. Let it soak. Usually I let that sit for a little bit and then go back and scrub it some more. Yeah, exactly, Dub. The spray, if you don't neutralize it, it burns, dude. It's so bad. Ask me how I know. I learned the hard way on that one. I always keep a stack of rags with me too, just in case I spill some or I get some on my hands. Just dry it off really quick, but it's okay. Again, lesson learned. You learn pretty quick once you start doing some dumb stuff. But right now, again, we're using the Chem Dip. I love this stuff. I've had this can for now almost 5 months, and I just keep reusing it. Again, it works super good for cleaning parts, and it's like almost zero effort. I'm not gonna say 100% zero effort, but almost zero effort. I don't use any metal brushes, not on aluminum parts, because you can ruin the seal. So yeah. Ignitron ECU? No, I never heard of that. Yeah, I got this chemical cleaner. You can pick it up at AutoZone. We get it. I mean, we get it here in the United States at AutoZone. Again, it's been around for a very, very long time. Mikey, how long does it take me to do a rebuild? If I have every single part that I need to rebuild an engine, 2 days. 2 days to do a whole rebuild. Dub Invasion, I think I paid $30 for this. $25 or $30. It comes with this cool little basket for small parts, and you dunk them in. My pistons, I don't know if you saw the video. I have a video of pictures on my Instagram where I cleaned them. I cleaned my pistons. They literally look brand new. And a couple minutes, I'd say 20 minutes at a time, take them in, scrub them, put them back in. 20 minutes, scrub them, put them back in. 20 minutes and scrub them. I think it took me 2 hours, and they look brand new. So that's not bad. I use it for almost everything that can fit in it. I wish I could have shown you. The oil cooler right here, all the dirt came off of it. I use it on the oil cooler housing. I was going to use it on the oil pump, but I got the chain on it already. I didn't want to deal with it anymore. But I'm going to use it for the front main seal. The rear main seal is brand new, so I don't have to do that. I was going to do it on my valve cover. Trying to figure out what color we're going to do the valve cover. Go for it, Mikey. I'm here. I'm just taking my time right now. I got a couple little parts I'm going to clean, but not too many. You'd be surprised if you cleaning parts sometimes has a negative effect, so be careful. So you had oil coming out of the intake. More likely the turbo failed. So you might have blown a seal on the turbo, or your valve cover, not your valve cover, but your valve cover. Right here, this guy right here, your valve cover, your PCV system might have you might have blown a seal on the head, or your breather system wasn't working correctly, and you just got a bunch of oil going in there. That's kind of normal, not that bad. It was upside down. The engine was upside down. Like you had it right upside down like this, and you were servicing or yeah. Yeah, I mean, if the engine was upside down, you're gonna have that happen. Um, if you look inside here, inside the valve cover, there's these little holes right here where the breather comes in. All this does is allows the fumes to come through here and not oil. So if you had the engine upside down, this should have filled up with oil. And then when you put it back up, it made a pocket of oil over here probably and just shot all that oil into your intake. Matthew Samek, what oil do I use for my 1.8Ts? I use full synthetic Castrol 530. I use 530 for normal driving, or I go to 540 when if I'm getting ready to do a trip, long distance driving, hard driving. Long distance, hard driving, or if I'm going to race it, 540 is the better oil for overall like aggressive driving. 530 is more economical for your fuel. It's a lot thinner, but it doesn't wear out your components. But if you drive your car very, very heavy, 530 you can risk getting your engine too hot. 540 is a thicker viscosity, so when you're running hotter, it's still thick under really high temperatures versus like 530. So it's kind of hit or miss. But I go back and forth between 530 and 540 for my 1.8T builds. A lot of times I also use diesel oil. 540 is also really good. Liquid moly is amazing. That's really good oil. I would recommend that to anyone all day. That's if you have the pocket for it and the change, by all means get some liquid moly. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Yeah, 1040 is too thick. You gotta stay with a five weight, 530 or 540. Don't go to a 10. That's too thick, man. Yeah, this stuff cleans really quick. And then what I do is just flip it around to the other side and kind of do the same thing. Sometimes you can't. And then I just say F it, and I just go in here and dunk my hands in the chemical and clean it. Yeah, I mean, auto or manual transmission, it's the same oil. It's only the engine that you're worried about. That's where you're putting oil in. So, yeah. Always 530, 540 for the 1.8Ts. I recommend Castrol because these engines are designed around Castrol oil. Believe it or not, they use Castrol oil when manufacturing these engines. So I have huge belief that Castrol oil is good stuff. Now, the thing is, there's different kinds of Castrol full synthetic. There's standard full synthetic and there's German full synthetic formula. You gotta research your oils and know which one to use. Correct. For colder climates, you do want a thinner oil because you're never going to get to that temperature ever. So thinner is better when you're in much colder temperatures. Hey, babe, can you give me a toothbrush that we don't want?
I gave you my one. You don't have the one?
No, it's gone. I don't remember. Can you check? The weirdest thing I've seen in a 1.8T? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, now not in an engine, but in an actual car. I mean, I've seen some really messed up, ricey looking Volkswagens. I mean, I got a couple people I can name, but I won't say any names. But man, I've seen some ricey Volkswagens. That's the weirdest stuff to me. But again, I mean, it's my opinion. To each their own. That is correct. That is my opinion. So, nice, Samek. But to an engine itself, I've never seen anything actually weird. Yeah, never seen anything weird. Blown up any engines? Believe it or not, I've personally never blown up any single engines. And I've pushed the limits to a lot of my motors, but I've never actually blown one up. So no. I purchased a blown engine. I don't know if that counts, but I've never actually personally destroyed an engine because I've always been just leave that on the floor. Perfect. But I've never personally actually gone like, oh man, I blew it through a rod or something. No. Well, the blown engine, the VR6 that we have outside, the engine was ran without oil for God knows how many miles, so it spun a rod. So it's not really what we call blown. It's more, I guess the term you want to use is neglected, kind of. The blown engine is like something that cracked or you blew a head gasket. That's what I consider a blown engine. So, yeah, and it's kind of hard to say. But I know for a fact now, though, it definitely starved. It definitely failed due to oil starvation. That's for sure. When is the raffle going to happen? When the car is done. We're going to start the raffle the moment we turn the car on. The moment that car turns on, we're going to open the floodgates, and you guys can get your entries to get raffles for the Corrado, for sure. That's going to be coming again. I'm trying to get this done quick because I got new seats to get in the car. I got new interior to do. I got dash. I got wiring. I got wheels to get for it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff for this Corrado to be finished, and I don't want to start any raffles for this car until this car is done. I would definitely love to do some MK6 seats. That would look dope. I love how you did it on your car. But MK6 seats don't just come around all the time, you know? Do I think you should change your subframe bushings to solid? Well, are you prepared to have a really, really vibrating car? um, it makes your car extra more, like so much more vibration. I mean, if you're ready for that, by all means, go for it, man. That's how my car is. I mean, my car literally will rattle your teeth out. Yeah, it's definitely a rough ride. I agree. But I love it. I mean, it makes me happy because I feel more in tune with the car because it tells me I don't need to look at the gauge anymore to know how fast or what RPM I'm at because it vibrates like crazy. Edgar G. Have an 04, had a new Stygon Turbo KO3 upgraded. And you currently still have turbo lag. Why? Because you have a turbo. AKA turbo lag due to the fact because you have a turbo. That is it. There's no other way around that. Get rid of the turbo. I don't want turbo lag. I mean, that is literally the definition of turbo lag. Sorry, man. I didn't want to like make fun of you, but that is literally the reason why you have turbo lag. Exactly. Learn to manage your RPMs. Learn when your car actually kicks in boost, and learn how to drive within those RPMs and everything. Once you understand how your car makes boost, learn how to drive in that power band, and you'll almost never have too much turbo lag. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. Mother Nature's calling. Yeah. Be right back. Pizza.
Taco pizza.
Yeah.
You guys gonna leave him hanging?
I don't have a choice. You talk to them. Dad's in there.
Both.
Woo.
Do you want to refund that guy or no? The yellow guy.
We'll see. Give me a minute. Samek, what do I have for a tune? I got a minute so I can answer before because someone's in the restroom. I use Boost Dynamic Tuning from Trent Smith. Is the guy that I work with for tuning my cars. Yeah, once you understand how the power band works, you learn how to drive your car so much differently. It's insane. But again, guys, give me a minute. Mother Nature again is calling. I will respond to you guys via chat, but not talking to you guys. Okay, so I'm back. So the way that it works with a small turbo versus a big turbo, PSI means nothing. And I am very adamant about that because you can have 1,000 PSI, but if you have 1,000 PSI with only a cup of air and not 2 cups of air, you're not going to make that much power. Because you need to mix air, you need to mix fuel, and you're going to mix compression. Okay? So, exactly, you can make more. So, boost, again, is no, not about the 1.8. The liter, that's your compression. That's where it compresses. What I mean is that you're getting all that volume of air faster. You're still getting the same amount of air, but you're getting more pressure because you're compressing more volume faster. So, again, I have my 1.8T. I haven't changed it. It's still a 1.8.
Have the other one that looks like this. I have the breakdown of all the shirts.
It's in the case in the kitchen on the table.
The computer one?
Yeah. So 1.8 liter is your pretty much the amount, the displacement of the engine pretty much. Well, it does. Each cylinder does not take 1.8 liters of air. That's how much the entire engine does. That's why it's called a 1.8 liter. So the bigger turbo pushes more volume of air into the same chamber, using less boost. Because think about this. Here's my 1.8 liter KO3 turbo. This little thing right here is a cup of water. Let's just make this easy. A cup of water. So if I put that cup of water in there, it takes 2 seconds to fill with a KO3. But on my big turbo, it takes 1 second to fill because it's a bigger diameter. I also push more pressure into that same area, even though I'm using less boost. My 1.8T on 15 PSI makes 350 horsepower. On 22 PSI, I make 450. My KO3 at 22 PSI barely breaks 220 horsepower. Barely. That's on a great day. Why am I not making 350 horsepower? I'm not changing anything. The engine over here, all I did was change the rods. That does not change the displacement or the volume amount of air, because the bigger turbo pushes more air in the same amount of space. I get that one even faster than the other one, but I get more of that one. So again, PSI, PSI is, the more PSI does not necessarily mean more power. You need a fixed fueling on top of that. You got to compensate, obviously, because I'm dumping more into it. I'm going to get not the same amount. I have to put more fuel because I'm putting more air. That's the difference of going small turbo to big turbo. Your volume, the amount of air. You're not getting the same amount, I guarantee you, from a small turbo to big turbo, because if that were the case, there'd be no reason to have a big turbo, period, at all. And just because I added more fuel doesn't necessarily mean I get more power. I have to have, there's a ratio for everything. And when you go bigger turbo, you're not doing the same amount of air. It's more volume. There's more volume in there because you're flowing way more air than a stock KO3 by far. I mean, your KO3 is what, 1 inch, 2 inches in diameter. My big turbo is almost 4 inches bigger. I'm doubling literally the volume of air going into my cylinder. So technically I'm doubling my power, but I also had to triple my fueling actually, because factory fuel injectors are 280 cc's. I'm almost at 1,000 cc's to compensate for the amount of air that I'm dumping into my into my engine. But because I have more air and I have more fuel, I generate way more heat. So we have to upgrade our valves because I'm making more heat. Because my explosion in my chamber is much more bigger, I'm making more air. I'm making more heat. So obviously we have to upgrade to much higher, more heat resistant valves. KO4s are awesome if you're looking for a fun daily car, but you're not going to make 300 horsepower. You're looking at 260 to 280 horses on a perfect day with a KO4 turbo. They don't make a lot of power, but it's fun power. It's super torquey, makes power very quick, and again, they get you where you want to get quickly, and it's nice. It's nice. I like KO4s a lot. I'm a big fan of KO4 turbos, but I'm a how can I explain? I like them for other purposes. If you're a big autocrosser and you race on small courses, KO4 is a much better option. For when I do canyon driving, I need a bigger turbo. I need to stay on the much higher RPM ranges. And KO4s don't like staying in really high RPMs for a very long time. They get way too hot. I've seen some turbos legitimately glow red and catch oil lines on fire because just how hot they get. It's ridiculous. So you really got to consider what your applications are when you're trying to go to a new turbo style or a bigger turbo. KO4s, again, there's different styles of KO4s. So definitely think about what your power and your, how can I say this, your power range and your ultimate goal that you want to do, because every application is very different. For example, the VR6 that we are building right now, we're going to build it naturally aspirated. And it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense to build a NA VR6. Why? Because it's super expensive. NA VR6s, I might be lucky to make 200 to 220 horsepower. But that's what we want to do. We want to learn about the engine, and we want to build a naturally aspirated engine. That's what we all voted for. So that's what we're going to do. Okay? So naturally aspirated, you go the other way. Instead of dropping your compression, you increase your compression. So you get, you force the same amount of air, but into a much heavier boom, so your explosion is even bigger. Because you can't force it in there, you're going to have to force it mechanically versus using a turbo by force induction. You're actually going to be force compression, I guess is kind of the way I want to call it. NA motors are awesome, but they require a lot of work to make any power. The 12-valve VR6, unfortunately, is a dog when it comes to making big power because it does not flow. The head does not flow very well. That's why when you see the most people who go like want to make giant big numbers, they either go 24-valve because double the valves in your head, or they just what they call a big valve, big porting, port and polish, and all that to make the head flow, to make a lot of power. I think the highest power on a VR6 right now on a 12-valve, I think is about 1,200 horsepower on a 12-valve VR6. When it comes to 24 valves, whoo, I see them go way higher than that. But those are dragsters. We're not building a drag car. We're building a fun car. There's a big difference. For this car, the Corrado, Again, we stayed with the same amount of displacement. We just upgraded the rods, race bearings, so calico coated bearings for the rods and the main caps. SuperTech valve train, all integrated engineering parts. Mostly because a lot of their parts are billet. They can take the abuse, they can take the vibration, and we don't have to worry about things breaking on us. But the goal on the Corrado is to keep it around 400 horsepower, because I don't want anybody who wins this car to break it. Plain and simple. I want whoever wins the car to enjoy it, and to enjoy it for a very long time and not break it. You know, so yeah, I love KO4s. I recommend them. I always recommend them to everybody, and definitely get one if you have it in your budget. Go for it, man. Just don't buy the cheap Chinese ones, honestly, because you will regret it. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, it came out really good. Once this is all cleaned up, I'm going to go wash it in hot water to finish its cleaning. And then we're going to paint it so it matches the block. We just got to be careful on how we paint it, so we got to mask it all nicely so it looks good. And silly me, I put my phone in front of the stuff here. I know I'm literally dunking my hands in this stuff, but oh yeah, dude, I love cleaning engine bays. One of my favorite things to do is to clean an engine bay.
You want to tell them our Valentine's Day deal? Engine days.
Do you guys want to hear what I did for Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day for my wife? You guys want to hear that story?
1 year.
Last year, was it last year?
No, it's been.
No, it was like 5 years ago or 6 years ago.
Yeah, with the bus. The beginning of the bus rebuild.
Yeah, this is during our Volkswagen, rebuilding my VW bus. No, Franken Turbo is what we call a hybrid turbo. Franken Turbo, what they do is, it looks like a KO4, it smells like a KO4, it talks like a KO4, but it's not a KO4. It's what we call a hybrid. A Frankenstein. That's why they call them Franken Turbos. So what a Franken Turbo is that they grab a KO4. So here's your KO4. Let's just pretend this is our KO4 Turbo right here. They grab one of these and they get a special machine and they drill out, or what we call bore out, the turbo inlet so it's bigger, or the turbo housing on the exhaust and on the cold side. So they put a larger wheel on the inside of the turbo. So that's why they're called Franken Turbos, because they're not the original turbo. They've been Frankenstein. They've been overbored or oversized to make more power. They're cool because they're super torquey. They have a ton of torque. My previous Mark IV had an F23. I made 280 horsepower but I made 340 pounds of torque. I made a ton of torque on that car. That's ridiculous. That thing pulled for days, man. I get on that freeway and it just pull and pull and pull because it's such a tiny turbo. But man, it did so good. I love that turbo. It was a great turbo. So yeah, Franken Turbos are great, especially for budget builds. I kind of called it because you don't spend a ton of money and you make a decent amount of numbers. Honestly, you make some good numbers for a stock car. So yeah, definitely, I recommend it. Definitely recommend it. Have you ever heard of an E05? No. What is that, Snick? Never heard of that. No, I never heard of one, man. That'd be something cool to get into. But you got to think about your cost, though. Think about the cost for that kind of money, for that kind of turbo. I mean, if that turbo costs $1,000, $1,200, and it's making GT28 power, but you still got to spend GT28 money, why not just get a GT28, you know? Now, if it spools faster than a GT28, definitely want to consider that because that's pretty cool. GT28 spool pretty quick. I mean, they're ball bearing turbos. So, all right, give me a second. I'll be right back and I'll wash this off. Later this week, what? Yeah, I gotta do that when I go back later this week and go pick that up. Yeah. So, what's going on, Shane? This came out really good.
Yeah, the before one.
Well, they were watching me do it.
Grimy.
Yeah, it was black. I mean, it was legitimately black with grime. And now it's like silver-ish. Yeah, it came out really good. This is almost ready for paint. I'm always probably gonna chemically clean it one more time. But I kid you not, it's almost ready for paint. Obviously, I gotta scrape off all the old RTV that's stuck on here. I'm not going to polish it. It's going to get painted. I'm not a big fan of polish. I like paint. Usually polished parts is a little different. Depending on what I'm going to polish, it's very random. Yeah, it came out really good. I mean, that took off all that grime on the inside. for sure it took off everything on the inside. I mean, it is not bad. That came out really good. So we're gonna leave the seal in here, the crank seal, so we can just mask off this. Obviously, put a big old ball of tape right in here, and then make sure we're as clean as possible, and then give it a coat of paint. Again, I'm probably gonna chemically clean it one more time, and blow dry it, and make sure I got all the oil residue off. Because as long as there's no residue of oil, the paint will stick. But yeah, it came out actually really good. So I'm pretty happy with that part. So we're gonna do a bunch of little parts right now. Let's see. This guy. Captain Wolf, when doing the timing belt on your 1.8, do you recommend doing the crank and cam seals at the same time? Not the crank seal. If your crank seal isn't leaking, leave it alone. Don't touch it. Just leave that seal alone. Awesome, Smek. I did not know that. I leave the crank seal alone, but definitely the cam seals. I always highly recommend doing the cam seals because they're a B to do. The crank seal, the reason why I'm not a big fan of the crank seal, because you run a really big risk when this seal is. So let's assume you have it on, right? So let's put it on right now. Let's just show you what I mean, because I can put this on here, it won't damage anything. Okay, so you have the seal right here. Now, if you don't, let me get you guys closer here. So this is the crank seal. If you're gonna try to rip this out with a screwdriver, kind of like this, or you're gonna try to grab it and pry it out, the issue that you're gonna fall with doing this seal is that if you go in here and you use something and it scrapes the surface where the seal sits, you're pretty much causing permanent damage and it's going to leak. So your repair that didn't need repairing ends up becoming a big problem over time. I don't recommend it. Awesome, SR Grove. Thank you. You know, you can't stop me from clubbing baby seals. I'm my own boss.
Shut up.
No, I would never do that. Again, which Rado, Shane? My Rado? So if you're going to replace this seal, you might as well pull the oil pan off and then take the entire front seal off. If you want to do it right, you're going to pull this off, smack this out, and then pop in a new one, and then slide it on. That's the way to do it. You don't want to damage it. No, don't sell your yellow one, fool. Don't talk to me if you sell it. So, again, Mark IV Wolf, or Captain Wolf, if it's not leaking, don't fix it. Honestly, I don't recommend it. These seals, I mean, they get installed from the factory very, very well. And they never, I mean, honestly, they never leak. It's extremely rare if this seal leaks. Same with the rear main seal. I personally never seen a Mark IV 1.8T seal leak ever. I've replaced them because I was there doing a job. I replaced them because I'm there, but I didn't replace them because it was leaking. On a Mark IV, the 1.8T, when you do it transmission job, it's super easy to do. This one isn't as easy. There's a lot to remove that's in the way to get it out. So, I don't recommend it if it's not leaking. Exactly, less work.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Period. So now I'm gonna get my cam caps and load them up. Give me a second here. That came out really good though. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I'm really happy with this cover. It came out really, really good. Very clean for like what, the 20, 30 minutes that we've been talking. I need a charger. My phone's about to die. That sucks. I had one in here. No, that thing's dead. Let's see. Thank you. I love my shirts. Yeah, that's pretty much correct, Shane. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if you fix it, it might end up breaking something else. I agree. 100%. All right, where is that? Okay. So, next part to clean. Yeah. I got a mess in here. So much. It's not even funny. So these guys right here, the cam caps, you gotta be careful when you clean these because you don't want to score the inside of this. This is very important. These guys, one little scratch inside the cap, you can damage your cams almost permanently. So be careful, guys. Do a couple at a time, you know, when you do some chemically cleaning. Set them around each other, not like, make sure they don't like try to touch each other or damage, kind of like that, you know. And do a couple at a time in the little caddy. Dunk them down in there. Bye. Let them do their thing. In this case, I'm gonna close the lid and let it do its thing. That's cool, Shane. So Hazam, I'm trying to read this correctly. So, and I told you, and I responded to you. I changed the water pump, the thermostat, the fans, the fan control module, the coolant temp sensor, the triangle shape sensor on the radiator. Checked all fuses. I'm so confused. Okay. Yeah, the fuses on top of the battery are the other one, and then there's a set of fuses. I think one or two fuses inside your cockpit, you know, by the driver's side. I think there's one or two in there too. But yeah, they should kick on. If they don't work, then you might have a short in the system. That's all I can really. Honestly, that's as much as information as I got to help you with that. I would definitely find an electrician next to see them trying to figure out where you might have a short, because I think you might have a short. Check your pigtails. Maybe the pigtails have some corrosion or some shorting on the wires. You might actually have a short on the wires. That's very, very possible. I mean, they love those wires. Like to get pulled out a lot, so I definitely would check that as well. But yeah, man, that's everything that you just did is what I would have suggested. I don't know what else to suggest for you. Good night, Johnny boy. Night, soda pop. Yeah, man, that's the last part. That's the last thing you can do is look for a short somewhere in the car, because that's it. I mean, that's where it ends, is a short somewhere. Because that should have kicked them on. Yeah, if you have a VATCOM, you can also check that. Use a VATCOM, and that can give you some more information about what's being transmitted information-wise to the computer. That can help too. I cannot find my masking tape. Gargle, 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 jurgle, gargle. Jeez. It's funny, I just used it a couple of like 2 days ago or something like that. Oh, there it is. It stopped working? On which one?
On the hiker.
Yes.
Is it information? The switch.
The USB, yeah. Unplug the USB on the back of the computer and plug it back in.
On which one? Mine?
Yeah. So, look at my high quality masking job. Not done yet, but that is the basis of it right now. So I get it all masked correctly. Yeah, good information, Shane. Good information. So, got myself a brand new razor. And we're gonna go.
You doing as good a job as me.
No, I can never do as good a job as you.
I mean, do it.
No, you're busy.
You're
You're trying to say I'm slow?
Yeah.
Wow, you just said straight out, yeah. That's my wife, everybody. I'll read you guys' comments in just a moment. Kind of busy working right now. Now I'm kind of anal this way. What could take 10 minutes to do takes me anywhere from 30 to 40. I'm not saying I'm a perfectionist, but I like to take my time on a lot of stuff. Just because it just makes me happier because the result ends up being much better. Being patient. I don't know. It's just who I am. All right. Now, these parts don't matter over here. Looks like a good amount. Oh, missed a corner. Okay, so I'll read your comments right now in just a moment, guys. I know I've been really distracted, but that's what I do. When I start working, I don't think about anything else until I get my job done. All right. She's a beautiful. Not as beautiful as my wife, but pretty close. Close second. Mm-hmm. Back here doesn't matter because we're going to just cover this with tape, but all we need is just so none of this stuff gets touched, since that stuff is going to be held with RTV, so we don't want to damage that surface when we paint, because if you paint it and you try to put gasket on there like RTV, it ain't going to seal. I promise you that. You're going to have a nice leaky seal all back here. So definitely going to enjoy that when I get that painted tomorrow. Let me read your comments. See what I got going on here. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, Hassan, Six Fans. No, by Maestro, as long as you can covered it, it's good. Where you located? Massachusetts. He's like, okay, I'm in California. He's not slow. He's special. Thanks. Yeah, I'm on the other side. Forum's been there. How's the bus? The bus is amazing. I love it. It's just in storage right now.
You didn't finish your story.
Well, hold on. I'll tell you guys the story right now. It'll only be like a grand by the way. Ooh. I'll talk to you later about that. No, melting everything is getting power. I had a spare one from the old one. Okay, sadly, it's been like this for the past year. When I bought the car, you can temporarily just wire up without a temp sensor. That's right. Loving the T-shirt much from London, where you currently 7:30 in the morning. I'm here in California, Andrew. It's 11 o'clock. Longest tape job ever. I agree. Al, please get a surgery blade. Sure, if I have one. Yeah, I've been chasing this. Okay, Hazam, I'd order the whole thing on top of the battery. Hazam, sometimes the fuses look good, but the battery fuse box aren't. That's right. Hazam, Al said, go through the line looking for shorts. If it's all okay, Vacom check or ECU check. Not my territory for this point. McDubbin, yep. $12 from AliExpress or eBay, lasting 6 years or more with no problems. All right, read all the comments. Jeez. You guys are awesome helping each other out. I love it. So, I burned the crud out of my thumb yesterday. You guys can see that. Owie. Look at that blister right there. Awesome battle wood right there. And I got it over here too. Right there. Grabbed something really hot. Not knowing about it. Hurt myself. Oh well. I'm a big boy. I can take it. I'm going to lower you guys down for a moment. You guys can get a little bit closer look of the cleaning. There we go. There's my cleaning station. So, there's my little toothbrush, my towels. I love this stuff right here. Chem Dip is the best. Bring it up. Now remember, these things were gold when I put them in there. Okay? So while we were talking, look at them now. Silver. That's one done. I don't even think I need to scrape these at all. I just gotta go wash them. I will be right back. Give me a second, guys. That is crazy. Look at that. Look how clean these are. It's insane. See, what do we got comments wise here? No problem. A little better. Voltage meter. That one tomorrow. Okay. So we're going to talk about why we clean parts and why it's so important to clean parts. I'm going to show you why. See these parts? See these cam caps? Beautiful, clean cam caps. I'm going to show you not so beautiful, clean cam cap. And why we have to clean them. So, you see right here, here's a good example of why we need to clean them. Here we go. There we go. You'll see there's oil in here. Now, since this engine was really, really well taken care of, there's not as much buildup in here, but a lot of oil likes to sludge up in these little passageways where it actually lubricates the cam. If these passages get pretty much clogged, no oil goes in there, and you start ruining your cams. Pretty straight and simple. I mean, as easy as it gets. So I like to clean the caps so you get a beautiful difference, and you can see the difference in color right away. Silver and gold. It's pretty crazy, but yeah. And you saw how quick it was. Not much effort was needed to get them that nice. This is one of the more important ones that I recommend cleaning the most. This is the one that where your cam seals sit, right here and here. You'll see this is what I mean by debris. You guys can see that. There's a lot of caca inside there. You don't want that. You want all that caca out. That's lubrication, man. The more caca there's less lubrication, the more quicker things are going to fail on you. So you want to get those passages all cleaned out. Okay? Get the caca out. They're intelligent beings. Caca.
No one understands that.
Shane, comment one. Thank you, man. These are the liquids called Chem Clean. You guys can see that on the can right here. Right there. Or no, Chem Dip. Chem Dip is what it's called. Good stuff. I love this stuff. I use this stuff religiously. And it cleans a lot of parts for very little time and effort. I have very little space as well to do this in. So I make the most of it. Should be okay. I don't dump it around. And once you get them all cleaned up, get yourself a nice clean rag and then dry them out. Don't let them sit in the moisture because aluminum still oxidizes. It's like rusting, but for aluminum. So you want to make sure you don't have any oxidation while they sit. If you really want to be what's the word? Oh my gosh. If you want to go a step above and beyond, soak them in assembly lube. And that will be it, which I'm actually going to do right now. Assembly lube is your best friend when building motors. You can never put too much. There's no such thing as putting too much assembly lube on your engine. But there is such thing as putting assembly lube in the wrong spots. That's for sure. Beautiful, beautiful caps. Let's see here. Aha. KY, much better. This guy. Shane's got all the jokes tonight, man. He's on a roll. So, I don't have KY, but I do have Lucas. Lucas Lube. So, I know it doesn't sound any better. I agree. But it's sticky, it's gross, and it's green. It's the best.
You might want to get that checked.
I definitely recommend getting it checked. If your shit's coming out green and it's sticky, yeah, man. Seek medical professional attention, honestly. Yeah. There's something wrong with you. But the green sticky stuff is really good for other applications, though. Like lubricating.
It said the green sticky should be for your car only.
Yeah. Is that what he said?
No, I said.
Oh, the bottle should say that, yeah. The green sticky should be only for your car. What's he say on there, Ben?
Ha 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 ha. Literally what I was going to say.
Yeah, since these aren't going to go on until tomorrow, I might as well just lubricate them. Get them ready for assembly for tomorrow. Now, the reason why you also need assembly lube, let's assume you build your motor and then you have a family crisis or a situation where you cannot work on your car for, let's say, 2 to 3, 4, 5 months. Assembly lube doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't run. It doesn't drain. It stays on the part. And it stays on there for a long time because it's sticky. It's tacky is what we call it. So the benefit of assembly lube is that you can lube up all the parts and you don't have to worry about corrosion to start or to set in because the lube prevents all of that. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
thought you were going to follow up with it. That's what she said. Reference.
No, because it's preserving stuff. So she didn't say that. Let's see. How's the little one? She's doing great, man.
She's teething.
Yeah, she's teething like crazy.
His is tormenting me.
Yeah. Another thing you can use if you have it, PB Blaster. PB Blaster is actually a really good lubricant because it's diesel. PB Blaster uses a diesel based lube, and that stuff you can actually soak. You can soak everything on a block with PB Blaster, and it won't rust. That's what we did since I had to keep the engine sitting for about a month or two. So I literally sprayed the whole engine down with PB Blaster and just wrapped it in saran wrap and just walked away from it. That's also another trick that actually the machine shop told me when they build motors or when they store them, they literally soak them in PB Blaster when they're built, and they just wrap them and they store them away. What's up, Bangin'? Yeah, Mackie. Yeah, he says he got lucky with his. He didn't fuss very much, and he's 14 months. Yeah.
She's in and out.
Yeah, she's in and out of complaining. Yeah, PB Blaster is amazing. That's one of my favorite lubricants, and anti-seizers, for bolts and stuff. Let's see here. Let's see if we take them out a little sooner than later, and see if that makes any difference for us. Oh wow, they came out. Stuff is clean already. That's crazy. I had these in for less time than I had the first batch, and they're already clean. Check this out, guys. That's insane. Way less time than the previous batch, and they're already clean. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah. And again, I only had them in here for 5 minutes, maybe 10. I could be very wrong, but I kid you not, less than half the time. That is insane. This stuff is, like I said, this stuff is amazing. I love this stuff. Look at that. Wow. It's a nice part, man. Look at that. All the grime that was inside here is gone. Literally just dissolved it. Man, this stuff is good. I love this stuff, man. And it's so reusable. Let me get the next parts. That way I can get these done quicker. So this one's going to take a little bit longer because it's got some buildup in it. But that's okay. We'll let it do its thing.
How was that ramen?
Hmm?
How was that ramen?
It was okay. All right, be right back, guys. I'm going to go wash these parts really quick, and then we're going to lube them up. Yeah, PB Blaster is a really good chemical. See what they say. I see. Don't worry about it, Shane. Didn't ask you anything, anyways. Didn't want to. Let's see here. Look at these parts, man. I love clean parts. You don't understand. Such a cool feeling to grab a part that gets oiled, and it's like, oh, look at that. It never got oiled. Such a good feeling. Look at that beautiful, beautiful part. Oh, it's going to feel so good putting this motor back together, 100%. And then we're going to bring the VR inside once it's done. Ha ha ha. All right. Time for all the lubes. Now remember, when you have raw aluminum that's never been outside in the air and never been not covered with oil, it likes to tarnish super quick. So yeah, just cover it in lube as soon as you can. No one likes it. Yeah, exactly. No one wants it raw. Ha ha ha. Everybody likes it lubed up. Wow, Bev. Wow. You never say dirty jokes, and then you said a dirty joke. I love you.
That's what she said.
You didn't say that.
No, but that's what.
You just said no one likes it raw.
That's what you're talking
No.
Yeah, that's what you're talking
No. This is letting you dirty in mine here. Uh-huh. What'd they say? What did someone say something?
Sometimes a little friction helps.
I don't know, man. Be careful about that one. Be very careful, because sometimes that little friction is going to end that night for you pretty quick.
Where'd you stop at?
It's somewhere around there.
Bottle. TV
Right after the bottle. Right after he says, I got to go make a bottle.
You gotta go make a bottle.
Yeah, after that.
Ouch, you hurt my feelings.
Whose feelings?
Shane.
For Shane, you ain't got no feelings, fool.
Says you ever make those rattle vent gauge pods and blank buttons.
I haven't been inside the Rado yet.
Says, damn, can't believe you're gonna build your VR before I finish mine. It's been sitting for a year.
Well, it's not my VR. I'm telling you that right now. It's not mine. It's the people's VR.
And Sebastian is asking, how hard is it to swap a DSG gearbox from Golf R32 to 1.8T?
How much money you got? How much money you got, man?
That's Sebastian. George wants to know, where'd you get the part cleaner?
Which George?
George Pacheco.
Pacheco? AutoZone.
Bangin says very. Shane says, although I do have a VR in the Q7, the bell housing won't match up. And then he said sometimes a little friction helps. The SR Grill.
What?
The Senior Grill. Guille.
Okay.
Getting late here, 3 a.m. Nice to read you all. He's leaving.
All right, man. Have a good night. Or morning.
James says, okay, dirty bastard, like it raw.
See?
Old dirty bastard, like it raw.
That's ODB, though, man.
I mean, and George says, "Oh no, she didn't."
Yeah,
Bangin says, "LOL, I'm trying to shave here." And then Shane told Sebastian it's not worth it to do that.
no. The swap is definitely not worth it. I mean, by the time you get it to work, there's actually a guy who did it. There's a full write-up on it on VW Vortex. I think he spent about $5,000 to $8,000 in the entire swap. I mean, if you got that money, man, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. But it's a lot of fabrication work. It's not a bolt-on. There's a lot of fabrication work, custom motor mounts, a lot of custom stuff. So be prepared to spend a decent amount of money when it comes to doing those kind of swaps. Right after the Mark IV, the MK5 changed the world because of the 2.0T technology, and they changed chassis. So a lot of the technology got changed with it too. So swaps weren't as easy to do. I mean, they're still doable. I mean, there's a guy that did it, but it wasn't affordable. I mean, DSG is definitely a superior transmission setup, but it's not something I would recommend. Man, Luis just sent $20. Yeah, Luis, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Props to my wife for putting up with me. Yep. Good night, Captain Wolf. Have yourself a wonderful night. Yeah, no, and thank you. I definitely appreciate you guys joining in and being a part of the live streams. It's always fun to do. I love doing my live streams because I love meeting you guys. You guys are awesome. You know, you guys are. One day I'm going to meet you all. I promise you, I will meet all of you soon. One day, man. I would love to meet you guys and hang out and shoot the shit and drink some beers and just talk car and just hang out. It's good stuff. I'm gonna pop this blister before I go to bed. I'm really contemplating pulling the oil pump out. Pull this out.
Yeah.
Really thinking about taking it out right now.
Oh, do you think?
Like 20 minutes. I'm gonna probably pull this. It's only 2 bolts that's holding it, but I gotta unbolt this one first. Take these 2 bolts, take the chain off, and then dump the oil pump for clean. I'm gonna do it. America. I agree, banging. Yeah, no problem, Luis. Yeah, Shane, I mean, we got time. Time is not a big deal. Let's just be safe and be healthy. That's all that matters.
Get past it.
So we all get past this together. I mean, we got YouTube. And we got Facebook. We're good right now. You know? We're good.
You can plan a Zoom session.
I am not going to play. Oh! You guys want to do a Zoom session?
You can see people's faces.
Yeah, you guys can look at me.
A meet and greet.
Yeah, we can do a meet and greet Zoom. What do you guys think about that? You guys already see my ugly mug. What did Shane say?
Because you said about holding out maybe next year. I agree 100%. And Lube.
Yeah.
Lewis says, I'm heading out, but I will be waiting for that VR6. I might swap out a 1.8T. Looks so much easier to work on. LOL.
There you
Shane
go.
says he's never done one. Hell yeah, Zoom call, says Louise. LOL, Shane. Bangin says, Pinchale's Turbo. Toasty Lubes, get yours today.
Toasty lubes? What?
Toastiee. Toasty Lubes. I guess it's Toasty Lubes.
Toasty.
Toasty, yeah, you spelled it again. Pinchale's Turbo Toasty Lubes, get yours today.
With a hint of a wife.
You have to make a shirt.
Toasty lube? So just have a bottle of KY,
Pinchale's Toasty Lube.
but just replace the KY lube, just put Toasty lube with my face in it. Going thumbs up. Toasty lube. I put that shit on everything.
The turbo lube. What is it?
The turbo toaster.
Yeah.
Your feet is LOL. Lewis says he's heading out.
Hi, Luis.
Yeah. Louis, yeah. Shane says pinche lube. Lewis said, thanks all for the advice. David says, sup, party people.
Sup, David? Party people! Woo! There it is. Wow, I'm old.
You just dated yourself.
Oh, I'm super dated. I don't care. I am.
Look what shirt you're wearing, David.
I know. I saw this when it came out.
The cartoon
Yeah.
and the Vanilla Ice.
And the movies. I saw them in theaters. And I'm damn proud of it.
Shane says, tag team, come in.
Tag team, come again.
Okay. Shane says, I'm that old too.
Yeah, it's okay. All right. Oil pump removed. Now the pickup tube has an O-ring, guys. This O-ring, if you ever pull this pickup tube out, you cannot reuse it. You gotta get a new O-ring. One-time use, guys. Now, look at this oil pump. Look at this color. All right, guys?
Are you soaking that too?
Yeah, I'm soaking the whole thing. Just so you guys can see for future reference. Now, if you guys ever want to know how much wear is done in your oil pump, you'll see right here. Where is it? Right there. You see those teeth? You put a gauge inside there, and it'll tell you if you're within spec. I already gauged mine. I'm still within factory specification, so that's why I'm reusing it. But yeah, you slap in a gauge in between both of the gears right there, and it tells you how much space there is, and that's pretty much your wear. If you're outside of the factory specifications, you got to replace the pump. We're going to let that soak, flip it upside down. Obviously, all of it doesn't fit in here, but we're gonna let it soak for a minute, and then we're gonna flip the pump the other way, and let it soak the other side, and then we're gonna clean it all off. Now, yeah, you guys can see it in a couple minutes. I'll be right back. I gotta wash this really quick. And that's all to the rule, man. Those were the days. I agree. Less than 2 weeks, and I add another year. Hey, Shane, when's your birthday? David Kane, what's going on? 1.8 then? Yeah, this is a 1.8. Shane Mackey, when is your birthday? I'm super curious. Here is something I picked up on the other day in the block casting where the water pump sits. Similar design. Do they use the same water pump? He's the 11th, Carlene. Shane, you're 3 days older than I am. No, 4 days. You're 4 days older than I am.
Old man.
No, younger. You're 4 days younger.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Ha!
Okay. You know, man, I'll be.
We should have a birthday party on Zoom. I'm down.
That's your Zoom call.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
It'll be my birthday. I should do a Zoom YouTube birthday. A Zoom tube. I will do Zoom and YouTube on my birthday for Mackie and I.
My first. Why YouTube?
Oh, he's 38. Yeah, I'm turning 37, so you're actually older than I am.
1 year older.
We all old as fuck. I agree. My girlfriend's on the 15. Yep. Leo's building shit boxes. LOL. Yeah, I'm August 7th. My birthday's August 7th, guys. So, let me get you guys over here on my ugly. So, I just came up with a really cool idea. I'm gonna have a Zoom tube birthday. I will go live on Zoom, live on YouTube all at once, and we'll do Zoom and YouTube birthday party for all of us. Obviously, make sure you guys have your own supplies, BYOB, obviously, because you're gonna be in your own home. And your own chair. And let's drink and eat together.
And your snacks.
Yeah, and snacks. Oh, you guys want to watch a movie? I'll get Ninja Turtles. We can watch Ninja Turtles together.
You watch 80s Transformers.
Or the 80s cartoons.
Transformers.
Transformers. Dude, this would be epic. I'd pay for the time, too.
They do watch parties, right?
Yeah, but you can't do a movie. On YouTube, you can't.
Just put it in the background.
No, you can't. That's why Zoom is cool, because they don't care. It's a meeting.
Just put it in the background.
So I can put on a movie and
That's
we
your
all.
conference call.
Yeah, it's a movie. I'm so down. I can do this. So all I gotta do is screen share, and I just put the movie on the screen, and we all can watch it while we eat and talk. And oh my god, that's such a cool idea. What do you guys think?
David says he's August 25th.
Dude, let's have an August birthday.
He says I'll be 36, I think.
I think.
Shane says, hell yeah. My mom's on the 31st. Have a retro. David says retro movie night.
I'm down.
Shane said I just checked and I'll actually be off Hulu
does watch parties. Bangins on August 11th.
So
Everyone's got August.
I know we got a lot of August babies, man.
A lot of Leos.
This is legit. And as Mackie says, all these Leos building shit boxes. It's so true. Oh man, I can't even deny that. Okay, so we can do it on my birthday because my birthday is my birthday first, my party. All right, I'm buying the Zoom time, so it's my party. I will we'll vote on the movie. I'll put a poll up for my birthday party because I'm August 7th. What day is that?
Friday.
It's a Friday, and I'm off. I'm actually off.
You can take a day off from car stuff.
Yeah, I'll take a day off. Just watch movies, drink beer, have some wings. Oh my god, you're so good.
Get some Wingstop.
Yeah, we'll eat some Wingstop, man. I'm down. I'm so down. You don't understand. I'm actually excited for my birthday for once.
Well, you can meet everybody.
Exactly. I can meet everyone. It's such a good idea. Thanks, babe.
Especially it's coming up. That's funny.
Yeah, it is really funny.
Movie choices.
Movie choices, obviously. We'll do the live action Ninja Turtles.
Yes. George Pacheco says, "Damn, I feel old. I'm 43."
Dang!
He's only what, 5 years old? No,
Yeah, you're not that much
6
older
years
for me.
old.
You're not that much older. I'm just messing with you.
Shane says, "Back in summer, baby." Woo woo. Shane says, "We're Eskimo brothers." Question mark. He's on the 11th. That's Shane. The Goonies. Goonies should be your movie.
Oh, hey, you guys!
Shane says he's working on the 7th.
Oh man.
So what time?
I mean, as long as you guys want to be on, I'll be on for like the same time as always.
It'd be night.
I thought around 7.
David says, "LOL at George. That is old as fuck. Being at the end of August, though, I'm a Virgo."
I mean, I'm super down to do starting around 7, 8 o'clock, Pacific time, obviously, and then just go through the night, watch a movie together. I'll pay for the Zoom time, so that way you guys can just be in it.
Brenda.
Or can you? No, I don't want to use Brenda's account. It's not that expensive, Dad.
She's got free time.
I know she has free time, but it's her account. I don't want people knowing her account. It's just weird.
She'll probably be on the party too.
Yeah, let her join the account, but still, I would do it on mine. I don't even have a Zoom account.
I know.
So what are you saying? They're just responding over there.
Shane says, "I don't get home until 11."
We'll be up. I'll wait for you, buddy.
Is that Pacific time?
Yeah, he's on the. I think he's on the West Coast with us.
Wait, ask him where he's at.
Shane, you're on the West Coast, right, buddy?
George says, "Do it."
I think Shane is up north. So. I am going to do this, so I will post it up on the community tab page, guys. So you guys know when to come over to my birthday party. I feel so young now. You know, sending invites.
We should send a unicorn invite.
A unicorn?
Unicorn invite, like those little paper ones you get as a kid.
Mm-hmm, but send them as like digital?
Yeah, digital one.
Oh my gosh. Ugh.
Oh, he's in Sacramento.
Yes, he's on the West Coast.
Oh, OG from San Fernando. Bangin says, Al, why can't you live closer? David, is McDubbing funding the cost of the 1.8T build now? All these donations, man, must be like 1K already. Dang,
No.
he's a high roller.
He hasn't given me that much money.
Says, Bangin, I need you to steal my motor and build it. Ha ha ha. David, RSVP. And also, I'll take the kit if he ain't paid yet.
No. I know. No, it says the contest prizes are all on delay. I've already it's because a lot of materials due to COVID have not been shipped to me. And the skid plate are finally on the final stages. My buddy Ben from Bud Built Designs finally got the design down. So yeah, we got a legit prototype finally made. So we're actually going to be making a final design this week. So stay tuned for that. So all you guys who won the contest, you guys are going to get some gorgeous skid plates, by the way, when they're done. What is it? Okay. Well, what is it about? Huh? Okay. So, what did they say?
David RSVP. Okay. Shane wants to know, how are we going to do the piñatas and pintail on the donkey?
Well, Mexicans don't do the pin the tail on the donkey, so you're good. We do piñatas, that's for sure. I'll have my wife paper mache a little tiny one for me, and we'll hit it with a tiny stick.
Bangin says, still got that dollar, LOL. Shane says, there's an MK1 Audi TT around the corner for me. I'm eyeing.
You don't need any more cars, Shane.
Says Ryan Stacy said, I had to cancel my F21T.
F21T, huh?
Franken Turbo kit. Waited 3 months and still don't know when they'll be in.
Yeah. It's unfortunately it's just what it is right now due to China. My supplies that were making certain products that hold me back.
No one's working.
Yeah, no one's making stuff, so I had to outsource some of my shirts, and it sucks. I don't want to do that. I don't like having my products made by somebody else. I want to make sure you guys understand I work hard for your guys' money. And I want you guys to understand that I pride myself on making all my products here. We make all our products in-house. I don't make anything outside of my house. And it sucks when one of my machines goes down and I can't make it, or COVID holds us back. Yeah, it's delayed a lot of stuff, and I feel bad for a lot of my customers. So what I ended up doing, like again, McDubbin knows, I made a lot of my shirts. I went to a third party to have them made, and we are at 100% loss, and that's okay. Again, guys, I'm not here for you guys to yeah. I mean, I'd rather not have any bad mojo with anybody. I don't want people to think that I'm just trying to take their money or just be rude. No. I'm here for you guys. Again, we had this conversation yesterday. I'm just saying that you guys understand that
we're waiting.
We're waiting.
Like
we're just waiting. Like Kerma TDI, I make a lot of their merchandise. I make their koozies, I make their lanyards, I make their stickers that they order, and those got delayed. We were behind by almost 2 weeks on an order. I kid you guys not. Right when we came back from camping, almost all of my supplies showed up. The same day that we came back camping, I didn't even relax. I just started working, making stickers, making lanyards, making koozies.
They did for 3 days.
Yeah, that's what me and my wife did for 3 days straight. And I had to hire my friend Will to help us out as well. It's crazy, but we're not even done. Look, I'm not even kidding. Here you go. Just to show you guys what I mean. These right there, these are Kermit TDI lanyards. And there's probably a good 300 in there. And then these are the koozies, and then these are stickers. And there's probably, right there alone, there's probably like 300 and something pieces of merchandise. And I still haven't even finished them. You know?
Megan says, so how much better are R32 control arm bushings?
A lot better.
It says, sound good, Shane. Are you reading them?
It all went when I traded my Mark IV for the Corrado. I had 2 sets. Okay. Shane, if you're a hairdresser, hello, just kidding. Haha, David. Glad you said that, Ryan. My Mexicans do. My wife is from Mexico. You are not a dad, Al. I am a dad. What are you talking about? I love my defroster vents. Baby finally fell asleep. Hooray! Love my vents too.
He says you're not my dad, Al.
Oh, you're not my dad. No, I'm not your dad, Shane. I know that. Not yet. Which did you get? Dude, these things happen. If people can't see it, legit that the t-shirts printer went down. That's their problem, not the stress, not you. Man, you're a good guy. We are here for you. Trust you. I got the same ones. Dope. Same. It all went when my trade. Oh yeah, I have 2 sets. Bought one and won. Again, it's one of those things. Is that like I don't stress it, but I do because. How can I explain? Give me a second here. Give me just a minute. This is what I call a beer moment. So let me get my beer. Okay. Nope, too low. Okay. This is a beer moment. So when people say don't stress it, blah blah blah, you're not in my shoes. You're not in my shadow. You're not in any of the situations that I'm in. And it's hard to say that when you're not in that situation. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful in any way. Please don't take it to a grain of salt, man. I have what they call a mental issue when it comes to making people satisfied. I have to satisfy you guys to satisfy myself. And if I can't do that, I'm doing something wrong. Plain and simple. So these shirts that I designed and then I got ready to print came out legit. The designs and everything came out beautiful. I think they were just the way I wanted. And I think they were here to satisfy this little corner of my online store to provide a merch that's just so much different than what I've had before. When people tell me not to stress it, not to worry about it, I have to. Because it's you guys. You guys made this channel, not me. You guys make it. Put it in perspective. If I made this channel right now, I just started making Mark IV content, and I put up 200 videos, and I got 0 views, I wouldn't be doing this. Plain and simple. Plain and to the point. But because you guys like what I do, love what I do, and are a part of what I do, I keep doing it. That's why I stress it. Because I care about your guys' opinions, your idea, your knowledge, everything. I care. I honestly do care. I literally wake up at 8 in the morning. I go to work, come home, and do this. I spend as much time as I can with my family. On the weekends, I dedicate my days off as much as I can to my family, unless there's like a super priority engine car thing. I tell my wife ahead of time, and then she leaves me alone. Or she does it with me. Exactly. Such good beer. Good stuff. So, yeah, for some people, don't stress it. For me, unfortunately, I stress it because I care that much. Plain and simple. You know, again, I'm not meaning any disrespect in any way. It's just the way I see things and the way I have to see things for this channel to keep doing what it's doing. That's it, pretty much. Let's see. What do they got to say? Could you make it take you? Yes, those are coming. I hear you. I make others happy before myself. I also see it more satisfying. I agree. I wear my shirt to a lot of the meets. Awesome. She has our permission to drag you off if you need be. Yeah, they have your permission to drag me off. I'm working on cars to go do something if you need to. That's funny. I love that.
Drag me off where?
Exactly. Where are you going to drag me off to? The bedroom. We're going to eat cheeseburgers and pizza.
And
Wingstop
wings.
Mm-hmm. Some Wingstop thing.
Or your chicken sandwich.
Oh, man. My Popeye chicken sandwich. All right. Back over here. So, remember what that oil pump looked like? No. Look at that. Ain't brown no more. Just a little bit. Yo, fleas, babe. By the way, guys, my wife has fleas.
Coming from you.
And she blames them on me. I'm the one that showers every day when he comes home from work. Oh!
I shower.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't bother you because they're yours. Devin says, could you make MK2 gate vents?
Yes, I will. I have a Mark II, so I can make them. I just haven't been able to touch my Mark II.
David says, I hear you there. I make others happy before myself. Also, I see it more satisfying.
Yeah, I agreed to that one earlier.
Shane says, I wear my shirt to a lot of meets.
I read that too.
Okay, so that. Shane says, I need a beer and a tissue now.
Ha
George says, the room is a good start. Bangin says, still haven't had a Popeyes.
Dude, George, you don't understand.
No, that's Bangin.
Or banging. You don't understand, dude. It's like an out-of-body experience. I just had my first one a couple months ago, and I am truly addicted to it.
Shane says, if you come up here, I make some damn good chicken sandwiches at the restaurant. Popeye sucks compared to us. The Pejos?
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
I'm down. I'm down to visit you.
we can actually go places.
Yeah, I actually want to go somewhere.
Because we can actually go places.
Yeah, next year. Next year. Oh, that wasn't supposed to fall in there. All right, give me a second, guys. I'm going to go watch this. Be right back. Let's see. Comments. Let's see. The restaurant is called F250 Barbecue. Using Kim Dip. David. Yeah, you don't have to take off the turbo to fit the high flow manifold. It's just going to be a pain in the butt. Just FYI, Ryan. I never heard of a chem dip. I use fuel and clean bits like that. You guys have a good night. You too, George Pacheco. Considering that the item in the block turbo would assume so. Yep, hella good, slow, and smoke. So, remember what that oil pump looked like? Look at that. Ain't brown no more. Look at that. Looks like I just bought this stupid thing. Now, because you don't want to have any issues, you want to fill this in with some pinche lube and then literally just spin it inside because you don't want to have any of that any of that metal to start tarnishing on the inside. Again, it all depends on how long this motor is going to sit, but this whole entire thing is submerged in oil, so it's not going to hurt it if you cover it in assembly lube. And I will cover it all in assembly lube. I kid you guys not. I mean, it's all getting covered in lube. All of it. Because this literally is submerged in oil. So, covering this in oil, assembly lube, is the smartest thing to do if you're going to let this sit for a while and not submerge it in any kind of oil. I'm not going to paint it. I just cleaned it because I wanted to just get it clean. I might as well look better on the motor, too. What's the comments on there, baby?
Shane says nope, should be able to tangle it.
Yeah, keep going. Already past that.
Already filmed it. You guys have a good night. That's from George.
Megan
said, considering the item is between the block and the turbo, I would assume so.
Yeah, keep going.
Shane says, yep, we're hella good. Slow smoke. McDubbin says, where'd you leave off on the Mark II?
Where I leave off? Pretty much building the motor for it. That's literally my last piece on that car, and putting on my fender flares. That'll complete the exterior and engine, and all that's left is just the interior of the car. That's it. That is it with that car.
Ivan says y'all still up.
Yep.
Shane says goodnight, George, old man. Shane says, ooh, you nasty. Len said, come to Ireland, you can stay under my car.
Wow, thank you. I'd love to sleep under cars. One of my favorite places to sleep. This guy. Go. Chain nice on there. That looks pretty. Let you guys see that. Give me just a moment here. Any comments?
Len is TGIS the 1.8 for the Corrado build? TGIS?
Tigus? Or is this?
Maybe. Is this a 1.8T for the Corrado?
Yes,
build?
this is the 1.8T for the Corrado. That is correct.
David Ella. Okay, Shane. Okay, gotta get some sleep, brother. Got a long transmission swap job tomorrow.
Have fun. Yeah, thanks for being part of the stream, by the way. It's always fun talking to you guys. Pickup tube is nice and clean. A little bit of debris that can blow out later with the air gun later. Cam cap looks beautiful. A little bit of lube on there. I'm going a little above and beyond tonight. We're going to clean all the hardware. Oh, Michelle. All right, set you guys back up in the air. Like you don't care. Yeah. Air. That oil pump looks 20 times better than anything else on this block. That's so sad. That looks so pretty. That's so annoying. Let's see what we got going on here. See you, Shane. You too, Al. Message you on Facebook about the Rado. What's the crank and rod spec in this motor then? Must be late there if all the locals are dipping out. Yep. 346. It's 12 o'clock for me. So the specs for the crank is factory. It's a 1.8T stock crank. But we did IE integrated engineering rods, the drop-in rods, rifle drill. We used calico coated bearings for the rods and the main caps. ARP hardware for the rods, stock hardware for the crank. Stock oil pump. The crank has been polished and balanced. Let's see what else is there. That's we're using stock pistons since we're keeping it under 500 horsepower. Trying to think what else is there. What else is there? That's it for the block. I mean, for specifications. For the head, we did a full SuperTech valve train for the head. With integrated engineering intake manifold, all the integrated engineering billet parts. You guys can see there's the head. There's the manifold. The head is all built with SuperTech valves and everything, all the other fun SuperTech stuff. Again, we're keeping this engine way under 500 horsepower. It's capable of doing it, but we're not going to actually make that much power. That is not my goal for this car. I hate this little tensioner. It's so annoying. It's such an awkward spot, too. you go. So annoying. Okay, you gotta torque that down afterwards. That chain is nice and tensioned. Ay, ay. All right, comments. What's going on? Let's see here. That's crazy. Yeah, P.O. Box since Turbo Contest. Okay, Bangin, thank you. Send me an email, please, Bangin. Hey, Pincha, saludos. Cesar Valenzuela. Damn, your wife types so fast. Yeah, she's a fast typer. Dang, that head looks so sexy. The block spec is identical to mine other than the rod. That's good to see. I didn't miss out anything crucial. That's awesome, David. Scrubbing, no typing. If I'm wrong, Jesus. And its finest. That's who my keyboard's how my is playing KLD. Hey, buddy. What's up, Tiny? At what point would you say SuperTech valve trains are necessary? If I've heard 400s where stock valves start overheating and having issues. David, that is incorrect. It's actually after 300 horsepower that the stock valves start having issues. The head on these cars, after 400 horsepower, they actually have issues flowing. These heads do not flow very well after 400 horsepower. So you have to go to a big port or a port and polish to this head with oversized valves if you want to go way over the 400 horsepower range. At 300 horses, you want to replace the exhaust valves. Intake valves are fine for up to 350, but exhaust valves start frying after 300. Just so you know. Huh?
That package, $28.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so I'm telling that.
What's Filbert on daily? Filbert is around 300 to 325, I think, on daily power, because I don't want to. I think I'm at 300 or 325 because I ran my buddy's 400 horsepower BMW and I kept up with them. So I'm thinking I'm around the 300, 325 range, maybe a little bit more. So it's hit or miss where I daily, honestly. So next thing is the front main seal with the cam seal. Make sure there's no lubrication on this right here. You can't have any oil on this, by the way, guys. The output shaft of the crank right here needs to be dry, El Dryo. No lubrication. Clean that shaft as good as you can. Okay. I think that's it for tonight. That's good talking, that's for sure. But I don't have anything else I can talk about until this engine is. Tomorrow, I'm actually gonna put it together. I'm gonna need 3 people to put this bolt on.
Oh, that's that one.
That's that one bolt. We're gonna need 3 people, so we'll film that so you guys can see that. There's one bolt right here, the crank bolt. When you use an ARP bolt, I kid you not, you need 3 people to torque this down. One to hold the engine, one to make sure the engine doesn't flip over, and then one to use a 5-foot pole to do a quarter turn. That's it. Yeah. So we're gonna do this tomorrow, and then once this bolt is on, and I can put the pan on, I can put the head on, and yeah, it'll be done. And tomorrow, this whole block will be done and ready to go into the car. We're gonna do the transmission this week. We're gonna clean up the transmission. We're gonna color match it to the block. We got the. Let's see what else is left besides the transmission. Yeah, just put it in and then start doing all the other work on the car. Yeah. Tomorrow, it should be around the same time. They all want to watch. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. Tomorrow, I mean, same time around. Yeah, I might have to be a little bit sooner because my buddy Will's going to come over and help me out. Because we need 3 people for that one bolt to go on. I will post tomorrow because my other parts are supposed to be here. So Nick Gardner, the torque spec, I think is 75 foot-pounds, which is nothing, but a quarter turn, and that bolt does not stretch, by the way. That bolt is an ARP bolt, and it's not meant to stretch at all. If it does stretch, it stretches, I think, 1/1000th or 2/1000th of an inch. I mean, it's nothing, the amount of it stretching. It's a reusable bolt for the crank. And I'll show you it. This is what it looks like. There it is. So, thank you, David. I appreciate that. So this is the bolt. And this is a forged bolt by ARP. And this thing is gnarly. This is a gnarly bolt. Let me read you the specifications right here, because here's the installation manual. Ensure the threads of the crankshaft are clean, free of burrs, clean if necessary. Clean the end of the crank, snout gear, and making certain that they are free of oil and grease. Right? Pretty straightforward. Install the gear bolt. Uses 3/16 12-point drive. Right? Torque as follows: 74 foot-pounds, which is nothing. That is literally a good. You're done. Plus a quarter turn with motor oil, or 78 foot-pounds plus a quarter turn with Loctite, right? Who thinks, quarter turn? And this is from Integrated Engineering. Just so you guys, this is funny. Okay? Right here. You will need a long, all in caps, bar, or to get the quarter turn. So be prepared.
It said it should.
This is.
You need 3 people, and
This is from Integrated Engineering. Okay, guys, this is awesome, and it's telling you need a long ass bar to get that quarter turn to go. I am not even kidding you. I did a live stream like 2-3 years ago when I did this bolt for the very first time. It took me, my 250-pound friend Pepe, my wife. I got a 5-foot bar, like that big, and I went like this. I hung from it standing, and it didn't move. Okay? I went, whoa, whoa, whoa. So instead of pulling it down, we put it at an angle, and I went on the ground and stepped on it, and I moved it 1 inch. That still wasn't even a quarter turn. That was like an 1/8 of a turn. It took us almost 2 hours to do a full quarter turn. So from here to here. Holy snugs. Like, holy crap. So this bolt is gnarly. But this bolt is extremely necessary when you're going to build a high horsepower 1.8T. Now, if you're not going to do the dowel pin and all that, this is only good for up to almost 500 horsepower using this one bolt. After that, you have to do the press-in gear on the crank, because if not, you're going to ruin that gear will literally explode. Because the crank gear, where is it? Where are you? Here's the crank gear. This little thing right here. You guys see this? Okay, this crank gear. Okay, look at the back. See that little notch? See that little piece of metal right there? That's the only thing holding this gear in place. Think about that. You're putting God knows how much torque on this little gear to spin, and that piece of metal is the only thing holding that and your engine all together before you pretty much bend the entire valve train. That's why we use this bolt as a huge upgrade when building high horsepower applications. Now, Integrated Engineering makes this exact same gear, but pressed in. So you have to take it to the shop and have it pressed in and all that. Yeah, you use oil or Loctite on these. That's all you use. You go dunk it in some oil and just push it in. The torque that you put on the oil literally locks the bolt in place. I know it's kind of weird, but the sheer amount of force is what locks the oil or the Loctite in place on this bolt. It's insane. I'm thinking this goes on with like 300 foot-pounds of like torque. I'm not even kidding, guys. I think this thing goes on ridiculously, like ridiculous. I don't even know how to explain it. It didn't have this little thing. It probably ripped off. Because these are common from shearing off, even on not high horsepower. Usually when you have rod knock or something like that, the engine freaking knocking really hard, or what big port head? AEB. Remember that, Ryan. AEB is the head that you want for big port. Yeah, the backfiring, it probably created a force that vibrated so hard that it just stripped it. That'll do it. That'll ruin that gear. Pretty easy. Okay, I'm talking just one more time. We're gonna end this. Holy crap! It's been on for 3 hours. We're gonna end this and right now. So, in the last question from Nick Gardner, how do stock? They hold up fine. I'm gonna tell you guys one thing: horsepower does not affect the engine. Torque does. Your torque is what breaks engines. So I would recommend making sure that your torque is under control. Keeping your torque around 300 is what, is the key, is the goal for a stock engine. 300 foot-pounds of torque, whatever amount of horsepower, doesn't matter. Horsepower is just how fast it spins. Torque is how hard it spins, like the force that it uses to make that spin happen. So torque is the devil for these engines, and 300 to 315 pounds of torque. 320 is like, you got to stop. You got to drop that torque, retard the timing, and do something to get that torque down. That's what breaks the engine. All right. Fun stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. I just had a great time talking. We'll see you guys tomorrow, because we're going to put this bolt in tomorrow so you guys can watch us and laugh at us while we do this. All right. Have a wonderful night. Peace out. Much love. If you see another dubber on the road, give him a thumbs up. All right, thumbs up. Deuces. Respect one another, please. And in these really hard and difficult times, help each other if you can. Provide help to the community. You know, if someone asks for some help, please don't be an ass. Help. Simple. You know, or stray them to a proper website to get the right information. That's all I ask for, guys, is just to make the community a community, not a bunch of self-righteous a-holes. I'm not about that life. I don't respect people who are like that. But be safe, chill, have fun. And as always, here at Peach House Garage, with Raph, Donnie, Mike, and Leo, we're going to break, we're going to fix, and we're going to repeat. Peace out, everyone, and have a wonderful night.